I'm Alfie Slade and I'm going to show you the best way to put luncheon meat on a rig. So here's my rig. So first things first, you need to grab a length of braid, preferably about 14 inches long, and then make a large loop in one of the ends. Then with your big loop, fold it back and tie another loop knot exactly the same way as you tied the loop, and then it creates a double loop. And then you'll need a piece of luncheon meat. Very carefully, you want to put a 10mm hole so it takes a 10mm boilie inside the luncheon meat so it sits flush from the outside. You can use bread punches, is very handy for this job, or do what I do, is just use a baiting needle, carefully cut a circle in it and then pick it out. It does the same thing. Then you'll need to grab a 10mm pop-up boilie and some bait floss and a small baiting needle. First things first, you want to thread your luncheon meat on a large baiting needle with a gate closer on the end of it. Then pull it through so there's a loop showing. And then get the 10mm boilie, thread it on a small baiting needle and then transfer it to the bait floss, pulling it all the way to the thick part of the braid. Then get the bait floss two ends, tie an overhand loop, and then put a hair stop in it, pull it tight, cut it by leaving a little bit of bait floss over, then get yourself a lighter and burn it and then dab it down. And then pull the 10mm boilie nice and snug into the luncheon meat. Then you want to get yourself a nice sharp hook. I use Calder curve hooks size 2. And then by threading the braid through the back of the hook, go in from the outside to the point first. And then just do a simple knotless knot. Now you want to get a bit of shrink tubing, and then you want to put the shrink tubing down through the braid, over the eye of the hook, and then down the shank of the hook, covering the knotless knot. Then you want to steam into position by leaving a little angle coming through the front of the hook, and it helps for a more aggressive hooking turn. You want to grab another piece of shrink tubing. Then you want to tie your swivel on. You can use the knot of your choice. I prefer to use a Palomar knot. Then you want to bring the shrink tube up to the swivel, covering the first part of the swivel. Then you want to shrink it. And that exact same rig has caught me loads of fish up to 81 pound. It will never let you down. Your luncheon meat will always be there, and this is a little video to test how well it stays on. As you can see, it stays on well enough. You never put it through that much force when casting. Normally when you use bigger baits you tend to lob the rod a little bit more. If you're fishing at distance, I'd recommend to use a pellet or something, but when you're fishing anything under 80 yards, using that spam rig what I've just showed you is perfectly fine. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and look out for my next video.